Peace community, peace community. If you are new, welcome to the community. If you're a part of the community, you already know how we do. It's a lot going on, man. I got a lot supposed to be going on later. But right now, Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets, they did not extend his contracts amid, you know what, the V. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I think he's been eliminated from all activities, everything like that. So let's hear a little bit from Lamont Hill and let's see about the situation. We're even going to hear some words from Kyrie. So I did want to just get into that, man.
Welcome back to Black News Tonight. The Brooklyn Nets have barred Kyrie Irving from all team activities. This was in response to his unwillingness to take the COVID-19 vaccine. They also will not be extending his contract at the end of the season. The point guard decided to go to Instagram Live last night. He had some stuff to say. Take a listen.
It's just really about being true to what feels good for me. I'm still uncertain about a lot of things, and that's okay. If I'm going to be demonized for having more questions and taking my time to make a decision with my life, then that's just what it is.
Joining me now is the former NBA player Etan Thomas. He is the author of We Matter, Athletes and Activism. Also, Amin El-Hassan is going to join me. He is a commentator at Meadowlark and a media host at SiriusXM Radio. Etan, thank you for joining me. How do you feel about this Kyrie situation? I mean, this is something that obviously has never happened in NBA history before. You got a guy who maybe at the peak of his powers, who helped put together one of the greatest basketball teams ever assembled, and he's not going to play because he doesn't want to get the vaccine, and the NBA is beholden to the New York state laws or New York City laws, which say that he can't play unless he gets vaccinated as a New York employee. So he's sitting this one out for so far. What do you make of it?
I mean, it's interesting. I've been listening to a lot of commentary and reading articles over the last week or two discussing Kyrie, and there's a lot with it. It's interesting. I noticed that a lot of the same people who praised athletes for using their platform and using their positions to stand up for what they believe in now are like the right. They sound a little bit Laura Ingramish. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, a little bit like Tucker Carlson. Almost, in the ridicule part. Now, we don't have to agree with Kyrie, but just the description. And I've been kind of amazed to see the way in which, people are using words like stupid and foolish and ignorant and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. That's what Sean Hannity and them do. We don't do that. So that's one of the main things that I've seen that I've really been disappointed in. We expect it from the right. That's what they did with Colin Kaepernick. Or they purposely misrepresented what Kyrie Irving's stance was, what Jonathan Isaac's stance was, Bradley Beal, all the people who said that they were hesitant in taking the vaccine. And like we heard Kyrie say in the clip, demonize them. And I've got to tell you honestly, Mark, I was kind of disappointed to see that because, again, that's what the right does. That's what I expect from Fox News, not from a lot of the people that I heard it from.
So specifically the Laura Ingraham reference you're talking to is when she told LeBron to shut up and dribble. And so the idea is don't speak about politics, don't talk about anything, just play basketball. We said, oh, wait a minute, that's wrong. Players have a right to use their platform and talk. But to your point, Kyrie's using his platform to talk. We just don't like what he's saying, some people, and myself included. I don't like what he's saying, but I wouldn't call him stupid. I just disagree with him. So he goes to IG Live, and he says, I'm not going through the media. I'm not going to go call up Stephen A. Smith. I'm not going to call Mark Lamont Hill. I'm not going to talk to Jamel Hill. No, I'm going to do my IG Live direct. The people are going to hear from me. He said because he's been demonized, because he wants to be heard and understood. Did he make his point on IG Live? Did he say the things that needed to be said?
I mean, he said that he wasn't retiring, which was reported all through the media, where they said that he was going to, quit and hang it up rather than take the vaccine. And he said, no, that's not true. The thing that I like about the players nowadays is that because it's not like when I was playing. We didn't have social media. So they could go right to their own platform like Kyrie Irving did and said, no, everything that person reported is untrue. All of their anonymous sources, I don't know where they got them from, but that is not how I feel. And that's the part that I respect about this generation because they're doing this so much more often. Now, again, do we have to agree with what Kyrie Irving is saying? No. But do we have to demean him and belittle him and demonize him because of that? That's the part that we can't fall into that category. And like I said, that's the Laura Ingraham category. That's the Bill O'Reilly category. And I've seen too many. I mean, we expect certain things from Stephen A. Smith. Since you brought him up, you mentioned Stephen A. Smith. We expect certain things from him. He's performative. He's going to talk very loudly, and ESPN's going to pay him even more money to talk even more loudly. That's what he does. But Stephen A. Smith aside, why would Kyrie Irving go to some of these different same reporters who've been demonizing him? I don't see why he would. Now, people are now saying, well, what is his clear message? What is his clear stance? Well, I mean, if you really want to, make somebody's stance of what they're saying seem really, really doubtful or demean them or discredit them, you'll do what is happening a lot of times in media today on all different talk shows after Kyrie, made his statement on Instagram Live. But the point is, what he said is, I am not retiring. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm still working through this process. I would like to play. Those are the main key points that should be the main takeaways out of everything that he said.
So again, you raised some important points here. Kyrie Irving absolutely clarified it. He's not retiring. That was something we'd heard he was going to retire if he got traded. Some people said he was going to retire not to get vaccinated. He took that off the table. He said he's not anti-vaccine, right, meaning he's open to the possibility of being vaccinated. That's an important point. But there were some other things he said that weren't clear. He said he was doing his research. He expressed that he was vaccine hesitant. But it's not entirely clear to me what will lead him to make a different choice. In other words, what does he need to find out in order to feel comfortable getting the vaccine? If he is willing to get one, wouldn't training camp be the time? Wouldn't the preseason be the time? The season starts in 5 days. If he hasn't gotten it yet, when is he going to get it? These are the types of questions I think he didn't answer very clearly. I mean, did you walk away with a sense of whether or not he's going to get the vaccine or not?
I walked away thinking that he was still working through the process, like a large portion of this country is still working through. If you look at the vaccination numbers per state, I mean, there's some are in the 50s, some are in the 60s. We have a large portion who are still working through that process. I just think it's interesting that, right now the NBA is 95% vaccinated. 95%. All right. So you look at different states all across the country, nobody's at 95%. And we expect the NBA to be at 100% because the only thing that matters is for NBA games to start and for everybody to be vaccinated. I think that's a little bit unfair of an expectation to have for NBA players. They're working through the vaccine concerns and questions just like the rest of the country is. But one of the things that I do want to say, though, Mark, is I want to hear more about the different people and demonization towards the different groups who aren't unvaccinated, like the NYPD, like the LAPD, like the Chicago Police Department, all these police departments all across the country that have said, not they're working through their research, not they're working through the process, they said, we are not getting the vaccine. You know what I mean? And those are at high numbers. You have only 60% of the NYPD and the 60% percentile who are actually vaccinated, but we're worrying about Kyrie. I mean, these are people who literally are coming interactions with Americans every single day, and they don't want to wear a mask. So, I mean, I just to put it into perspective, we're making a lot over one player per team that isn't vaccinated in the NBA. I mean, I know people want their basketball and understand that's what it's all about, but we got to put it into perspective.
Well, I think it's about basketball, but it's also about what it means for a public figure and a celebrity to advance a position or seem to be advancing a position that some people find troublesome. So I think it's both. I think there's some selfish basketball stuff going on, and then I think there's the public platform piece of it. But hang in. So I want to come back after the break and talk to you. We got Amin El Hassan joining us as well. And we're going to keep this conversation going about Kyrie Irving, about vaccine hesitancy, and what it all means for the black community. Stay with us right here on Black News Tonight.
Peace, community. Peace, community. It's a lot going on right now, man. Kyrie Irving. They're making an example out of Kyrie. Kyrie always been a different kind of thinker, though. Flat Earth, mad stuff. He's just a different kind of a thinker. I can't knock his hesitance on getting that. He said he I think it's been blown out of proportion. People saying that he don't care and all of these things like that. You know, he got his hesitations on it. You know, he's gonna lose some money on this situation though. So he's being heavily penalized. Besides being scrutinized, he's also being penalized for this thing. We are, this shit is being pushed upon us. People that's performing, like artists, like people like me, I'm an artist. I'm an actor. Different people. Some people are scared to get it because they have like asthma or like heart complications and different things like that. One of the first people that I know that died, that's when COVID came, is a good friend of mine. And he died to, symptoms in relations to things like that prior. After he got the COVID job. I've been to, like, in a city, they have like different stuff like these health, let's say like African Heritage Month was like last couple of weeks ago in the city, out here in Harlem and stuff, right? And they had performances and different things going on in the city. And one of them was sponsored by Emblem Health. And, they had the truck there as well. And everybody was like this African festival and everybody was dancing up and it was like people were singing on the stage and it was a good little vibe. I came and got some camera footage. All of it got deleted. But you know what I'm saying? I ended up getting some good camera footage and stuff. But then the guy came on, they were singing and dancing African music. They were playing drums and all types of stuff. And then one of the guys came up like, yes, city, all you know what I'm saying? African Heritage Month, you know what I'm saying? Listen, everybody's like, yeah. I was just standing aside just watching it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is a vibe. And then he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The truck is right there for you to. And you wouldn't believe that whole crowd of people got so quiet. You could hear a pin drop. That shit was so crazy. And I had the video of this and it deleted out of my camera. It's crazy. It was so crazy because it was a festive vibe. Dancing, drum. Yo, son, it was live. Everybody got their gobs on, their head wraps. It was nice. Nice little vibe. The guy came on and said, yes, I love y'all. Everybody like, yeah. And he's like, listen, you can go right there and get the. Everybody got quiet like this. You should see. He wasn't forcing nobody, That should just change the whole energy of the crowd. That crowd got mad small after that. People was dispersing. It was still a little crowd, but it just broke away. Just based on him just saying that. So it really is a serious thing. You know what I mean? Are you? Do you have it? How do you feel about it? Let us know that. You know what I'm saying? Let us know that. Tell us what you're thinking. Because it's all about your thoughts as well. I will be going live a little while at 10 o'clock. I'm setting up another live right now. So make sure you join me at 10 o'clock. The melanin laws. I'm just going to go into a build, man. Hopefully a couple of y'all join me. And let's make some suggestions for the melanin laws. It's a concept. It's a thought. Beats no thought. I see everybody beefing. Why don't we put our minds around some shit? I'm going to keep coming up with some constructive ways of bringing us together. And this is what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I'm really not here for the dissension. You know what I mean? I'm on positive energy. But I'm coming out those streets so I will meet certain energy like that. Because I understand what will move certain things. And I understand what people understand. And I understand that people only disrespect what they can't disrespect. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody disrespect you. Respect yourself. Don't make nobody disrespect you. Follow me though, man. Next live is gonna be up at 10 o'clock. I salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. You already know the vibe. One community, one love, one voice, one community.